sa inyo. My name is Leotor, your host for this program for this night. And bago po ako naimbitahan dito, talagang nakakatawa po yung objective na tayo mga Pilipino dito sa Qatar bilang OFW ay united pa rin despite sa mga nagaganap sa Pilipinas na mga drama. As we all know, lahat naman ay aware, di ba? Aware sa kaganapan, sa mga medyo maiinit na talaktakan sa Pilipinas. Pero tayo, dito sa Qatar, maganda pa rin yung united tayo. Kasi tayo mga OFW, naniniwala ako, ang sabi nila, tayo ang bayani ng ating bansa. Yes? Okay, so before po tayo magtuloy-tuloy, may I invite everyone to please rise for our national anthem, followed by our opening prayer.
Bago po tayo mag-umpisa, tayo po yung manalangin. Heavenly Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Lord, tinataas ko po sa inyo ang hapong ito, Lord God, nagdadaos po kami ng Clean Election Covenant Signing Program, O Lord God. Nawa po, Panginoon, ay enlighten niyo po ang aming isipan, ang aming puso, O Lord God, at maliwanagan po kami kung sino po talaga ang aming iboboto sa darating na halalan, Lord God. Itinataas ko po ang mga kasama po namin dito at ang mga nanonood po online, O Lord God, na maipahayag niyo po, Panginoon, ang inyong mensahe, O Lord God, sa pamamagitan ng event na ito. Ito po ang aking panalangin, may kasamang pagpupuri, pagsamba sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
To give us special message, may we call on Mr. Joseph Rivera.
Wala po ito sa program kasi napag-usapan natin lahat ng partisan, wala magsasalita. Okay? Pero ipapakilala ko lang po ating guest speaker. In the absence po, the Philippine Embassy is sending the regrets that the Consul General, who is the chairman of the Special Board of Election Inspectors, cannot come today. No? So, ganoon din po yung dalawang members. So, luckily, we had one candidate in the Philippines, senatorial candidate, who would like to give us a special inspirational message, no? Ay binigay importance na tayong mga OFW. But before I introduce our guest speaker, I would like first to introduce the group behind this. This is the Reformed OFW Initiative. Kasi despite us being partisan, kapag kasi hindi election, we need to have a common platform. The Reformed OFW Initiative was organized 2 years ago. It was initiated by, from Qatar, there are 3 conveners. It's myself, Mr. Del Aliado from Guardians, and Miss Jindus from Ako FW. So, ang last na naging project po namin is nung pinaglaban namin ng PhilHealth kasi taas ng premium sa mga OFW. Yung po yung aming ipinaglaban. That was our first program, and this is our second program pa lang. Our speaker for today is actually a Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. She's the representative of the Low District of Antique. And she is a 3-termer senator already. And siya po ang una nagpaunlak na magbigay ng message sa atin bilang mga OFW on this very special occasion. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Deputy Speaker of the Philippine House of Representatives, the distinguished lady from the Lone District of Antique, the Honorable Congresswoman Loren Legarda.
Magandang hapon. Thank you to the Reformed OFW Initiative for spearheading this campaign for a clean, honest, accurate, meaningful, and peaceful campaign season, and for fair elections, especially among our overseas Filipino workers in the Middle East. Magandang hapon, maayong hapon, sa lahat ng kababayan ko na sa Qatar. I know that there are thousands of you working tirelessly as engineers, domestic helpers, health workers, in different essential industries in Qatar. I salute your diligence, your perseverance, your dedication. I have deep appreciation for all the hard work you've done for our country. I am most happy to let our migrant workers know that most recently, RA 11641, the Department of Migrant Workers Act, was enacted into law. With this law, a dedicated department will now be able to work on your most pressing needs and concerns. You have contributed tremendously to our country's economy. We owe it to you to provide you with adequate resources and avenues for your protection and welfare while in foreign lands. That is why, as chairperson of the Senate Committee on Finance, I supported the increase in the allocation of funds to the Department of Foreign Affairs for the repatriation of OFWs, the Legal Assistance Fund, and to ensure that programs for OFWs are adequately funded. I also authored and sponsored RA 10635, also known as the Maritime Industry Authority, MARINA, RA 10801, the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration Act, RA 10364, expanded anti-trafficking in persons. In 2012, I sponsored additional budgets for funding of existing consular offices and embassies, the opening of new embassies and consulates to foster deeper relations and protect the welfare of Filipinos abroad. The coming elections is most crucial. During this campaign, I hope you determine your highest ideals and find the candidate with a track record for pursuing and achieving the ideals in years of public service. We call for clean elections from candidates, civic organizations. I make a further call that we have clean elections in the literal sense too. After every election, we are left with election-related waste, pollution. I ask that we proactively integrate waste and toxic prevention in the conduct of the coming elections. We are already plagued with pollution, climate change, and COVID-19. Let us remember to protect our fragile environment from being further degraded by the avalanche of campaign activities. In my campaign, I make it a point to prevent or reduce the generation of waste, to make use of recyclable and reusable materials when it's applicable. We also conduct compulsory post-election cleanup. Let us take the call to have clean elections. Keep it to heart. Carry out our campaign activities in a sustainable manner. We share the same planet. That care and protection of the environment is not just a concern of my fellow kababayans here, but of every Filipino, whether in the Philippines, in Qatar, or anywhere in the Middle East, in every corner of the world. Lastly, never at a time in history has there been a greater and more urgent focus on what it truly means to lead and help others during unprecedented times. Ask yourselves, what is the kind of leader needed in the post-pandemic era? What should one possess to succeed despite the global challenges, including climate change, nature laws, and systemic inequality? Find leaders who are taking progressive steps to ensure that various Filipino communities, especially our OFWs or migrant workers, get the support they need. Who leads with empathy, equipped with compassion? In this post-pandemic world, what we need is a leader that has a clear vision for the post-crisis future. It is crucial that those who lead have the capability to respond and take action for policy formulation, effective policy implementation, inclusive public service. Thank you for having me as we all sign our covenant for clean, honest, accurate, meaningful, and peaceful elections. Thank you once again to our overseas Filipinos. You endure various hardships living and working in foreign lands, yet you, as our modern-day heroes, steadfastly contribute to nation building, especially in easing our country's economic woes. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Stay safe. God bless.
Maraming salamat po kay Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda. Ayan. And of course kay Sir Joseph Rivera. And now we'll proceed for our covenant statement. May I call on ROI Pioneer Convenor, Mr. Dale Aliato.
Thank you, Mr. Host. Okay. Nandito po tayo ngayon because we are advocating for a clean and peaceful elections, campaign and elections. So I hope everyone will agree with the covenant that we will be signing for today. Okay, so I shall read to you the contents of this covenant. So we, the representatives and campaign leaders in Qatar of the various national candidates vying for the Philippine national elections, this coming May 9, 2022, do hereby and unequivocally and to the best of our ability, commit and pledge. 1. That in order to ensure clean, honest, accurate, meaningful, and peaceful elections, our campaign will be undertaken in a peaceful and honorable manner in accordance with the rules and regulations set forth by the Commission on Elections. 2. That to help form an enlightened citizenry, we shall uphold honesty, accountability, and transparency in any of and all aspects of our respective campaign. 3. That whilst negative campaign is generally frowned upon, we acknowledge that truthful assertions as well as facts and circumstances fully substantiated by findings of relevant governmental bodies, local or foreign, do not constitute negative campaigning. That we shall support the Philippine Embassy Doha in the conduct of peaceful and orderly elections during the voting, counting, and other election-related activities. 5. That we shall limit our campaign privately within the Filipino community with due regard to laws, rules, and regulations pertaining to allowed activities, social gatherings, and health protocols of our host country, the state of Qatar. 6. That we will refrain from the use of foul language, malicious, false accusation, and will not share, most of all, fake news. That together, with time-honored principles of mutual respect, value for human dignity, and fair play, we shall adhere to the aforementioned clauses as far as practicable. So sign this 11th day of February 2022 in Doha, Qatar.
Thank you, Mr. Dale. And we will proceed to our signing of covenant. So once I call your name, so proceed lang po tayo dito, and every time po natatawagin natin yung representative, palakpakan naman po natin sila. Thank you po, thank you. So let's begin for our signing of covenant. First, from Action Democratico, Isko Moreno, Mr. Dennis Doria Ramirez. Ayan, thank you po. Thank you, Mr. Dennis. Next, from Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, Mr. Jan Ananayo. Palakpakan naman natin si Mr. Jan. Thank you. Next, Solid BBM Sara Qatar, Mr. Adrian Mayo.
Alphabetical yan, ha? Kaya ganun ba yung candidate? Walang favoritism yan. Alphabetical po.
Thank you, sir. Next, from United BBM Loyalist, Miss Skylar Perez.
Single.
Okay po. Okay. From Team Leni Robredo, Qatar, Mr. Andy S. Pagkaliwagan. Mix na tayo. Next from Solid Leni, Bicol, Qatar, Mr. Ruel S. Nagalo.
Hindi na ito alphabetical ha, printed. Lahat may representative sa first line, second line.
Thank you, sir. Next from Couples for Leni, Qatar, Brother Ryan P. Herrera. Thank you, sir. Next, Senatoriable Robin Padilla, Mr. Ed Anam.
Galit pa sa laro. Pinilit ang makakita.
From Migrante Partylist, Qatar, Mr. Noel Tolentino. Thank you, sir. Next, BG18 or Bigat. Yan, Mr. Ray Salas. Thank you, sir. Next, from BBM PICC Qatar, Mr. Rudy Buhungan. Thank you, sir. Next from PDP Laban, Mr. Joseph Timothy Rivera.
Hindi ako ng pula.
Lahat ng kulay na sa'yo.
Thank you, sir. Next from Liberal Party Marhaba, Mr. Richie G. Cartier. From Bikers for Leni, Qatar, Mr. Joseph M. Paza. Sa kabilang sayan, yan po. Smile. Doon daw po yung camera. Yung official photographer. Yan. Thank you, sir. Next, Lawyers for Leni, Attorney Dina Z. Hamel Erlang. May
Ayan pula, ang print may abogado na.
May mag-aabogado pa.
picture po.
Alright.
Thank you po. Next, Senatoriable Astra Miss Emily Villa Cruzes.
Wala na, ubus na yun.
Tingin dito.
Thank you. Next, from Samahan Magdalo sa Qatar, Mr. Rafael Sino. Picture daw po. And last but not the least, ako OFW Party List, Miss Mary Jill Lewis.
Representing ating lahat mga OFW, regardless kung anong kulay kayo, basta suportahan niyo ang ako.
Bawal na tayo!
Bawal po tayo
Ayan, thank you po.
Okay, next.
Next po si Mr. Jan Analayo.
Yan.
Ayan po. Thank you. Next po si Mr. Adrian Mayo.
Ulitin mo, wala ko.
Next.
Next po, ayan si Miss Skyler Perez.
Single. Single.
Ayoko na sikat.
Huwag ko ng single.
And po, sunod po si Mr. Andy S. Pagkaliwala.
Ayun, sabihin ng ball pen.
Next po ay si Mr. Ruel S. Nagales. Next po si Brother Ryan P. Herrera.
Sky.
Next.
Kaya wala pa eleksyon, may sabotahin na.
Wala sis!
I like this mic here.
Ibigyan mo yung katrapa mic para tuloy-tuloy yung pag-picture.
Hindi po, next po tayo wala po si Mr. Ed Anami.
Congressman.
Si Ruel Tolentino.
Joseph.
Miles. Sige po, ang sunod po ay si Mr. Ray Salas. Ray. Diba?
Aray ko kung makatulog eh! Excuse me po?
Ano? Sexual harassment?
Nare-report kita ko eh.
Okay. Oh, wala naman. Very clear naman.
Pinakayaw sa'yo eh.
Ito po si Mr. Rudy Bubungan.
Rudy, oh.
Parody.
Para mabilisan na. Tapos may picture din po tayo na magmula doon, audience ha.
Ayun na lang. Wala naman.
Dito po.
Okay, next.
Next po si
At wala naman, okay na.
Christopher Cadag.
Christopher Cadag. Nandito ba? Wala.
Okay, si Sir Joseph. Tapos na po kayo. And the rest
Ayos pa
tapos
po ano sa
na.
akin kanina? Ulitin ko daw sa
Ulitin ko ulit. Sige.
Makawain mo ako eh.
After yan, pwede na dito.
Pag-edit ka na, pag-edit. Ulitin mo dyan. Dito.
Ay, meron pa pala.
Papanin na rin ang photo at video.
So ayan, habang nagpo-photo po tayo, maraming salamat po muli sa lahat po ng mga umaten for Program Clean Elections, Covenant Signing, 2022 Vote Safe Pilipinas National and Local Election, Secure, Accurate, Free and Fair Election, Reformed OFW Initiative. Ayan. So this event is co-produced by Reformed OFW Initiative, Media Center Studios, and Advocacy Global Studios. And maraming salamat din po for Bilao Seafood Restaurant para sa aming venue. Ayan. Maraming salamat po sa lahat. Palapakan po muli tayo for our event, the program Clean Election Government. Signing.
Isa pa raw. Ay, sandali, sila nakalaban sa yung pula, victory sign mo na dito. Ayan.
Sige po, ano po na.
Nagkasundo-sundo po lahat po ng mga campaigners ng iba't ibang national candidates dito sa Qatar na magsama-sama po kami, gumawa po kami ng campaign pledge nang sa ganun po ay magiging malinis at maayos po ang kampanya namin dito, and of course we commit to limit our activities kung ano man pong allowed lang po dito sa Qatar, dito po sa overseas, and ang main importance po is that kailangan talaga iwasan po natin ang pagpapakalat ng fake news, yung pong mga masamang pangangampanya. Kailangan na mag-adhere po tayo sa makatotohanan ng kampanya lamang, kaya walang samaan na loob. At the same time, gusto ko rin po pasalamatan si Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda dahil siya po ang nagpa-unlock bilang guest speaker namin dito sa activity namin. At natutuwa naman ako kasi po both sides po, pula at saka pink, may dilaw, may maroon, may red, lahat po ay nagsama-sama po dito sa aming munting covenant signing po ngayong araw.
So paano yan, sir, since PRRD wala pang sinusuporta ang kandidato at ikaw ay meron na, ibig sabihin ba magre-resign ka na sa PDP Laban?
Well, ganito naman po kasi sa PDP Laban kasi we have a candidate up to the Vice President level, no, which is si Mayor Inday Sara Duterte. And in my case, I am throwing my support sa aking kumparing si former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. I just hope na later on, sana pag nag-decide si Presidente, si Bongbong pa rin piliin niya para hindi tayo ma-jeopardize. No? Pero starting today, tuloy na po ang kampanya namin, ang PDP Laban, lahat po ng Team BBM at saka ako FW, we are aligned here po for Bongbong Marcos. Maraming salamat po.
Our vote is sacred as it is the greatest equalizer. With the upcoming national and local elections, it is my fervent prayer that each Filipino will embrace this truth. It is everyone's prime duty to the country to vote and ensure the conduct of an honest and clean elections. Our vigilance to this exercise is imperative as it will chart the direction of the next 6 years of our country. So let us be one. As a senatorial candidate, it is my pledge to keep my integrity and support all efforts directed at a peaceful and honest 2022 elections.